first got interested in Dolby Atmos about 3 years ago when I was composing a soundtrack for Disney. One of the artists I was working with at that time had brought me this 200-track dubstep banger and asked if I could mix it and maybe do an Atmos too. So I started looking into it, and the more I researched, the more I had to research. It's not quad, it's not 5.1, it's not even 7.1. These are all surround formats. Immersive is a whole different animal. To tell you the truth, there's a ridiculously steep learning curve with Atmos, but you shouldn't let that put you off. There's a lot of talk about mixing in binaural only at the moment and that you don't need the room to be set up. But it's only partially true. Binaural means headphones only, and I think you benefit enormously from having a physical space to reference your Atmos in, as well as headphones. I think it will stop you potentially missing out on key parts of the mix when you're deep in the song, maybe even the whole feeling. My first foray into the physical world of Atmos mixing was to link two audio interfaces together with ADAT to get the 12 outputs I needed for a 714 system. Then I had to combine the two different control apps from those interfaces with yet another third-party app called Loopback in a kind of aggregate. It was a ghastly contraption, to tell you the truth. I got 8 pairs of second-hand Eras 3.5s and a subwoofer on OfferUp, and one of my boys, Mr. Drew, offered to come in and work on the setup with me. The room measurement was a bit of a nightmare actually. The speaker connections, they didn't match up properly, and only about 30% of the final setup was even remotely Dolby spec. But I already knew I was going to have to take things up a notch, so notch 0. There's a lot of important considerations when it comes to picking your interface for Atmos. From the ease of connection to your computer and all the speakers to monitor control functionality, it's all equally important. Oria is flawless in every single department. You can use it as a standalone monitor controller if you like, but I don't see why you would do that. The converters sound way too good to be sitting in the corner gathering dust. The next item on the agenda for us was to find the right speakers. We ended up picking the Fluid Audio FX80 V2s with FX50s for the heights or the ceiling speakers. We picked them because they were recommended by another engineer who we trust and work with. Interestingly enough, they're coaxial, and that means that both the low and the high frequencies originate from the same place, which is known as point source. Point source motivates the sense of immersion you get when you're mixing in Atmos. We also went with a 10-inch fluid sub for the LFE channel for all the lows. These speakers especially gang together like this in the room. They sound amazing, and I think they're a perfect complement for Oria's super clean converters. The last piece of the puzzle for us was room correction. We've been talking with SonarWorks for a couple of years now about Sound ID, which is their multi-channel measurement system. So when we found out that Oria isn't just compatible with it, but actually has full integration, we started to realize that this was going to be a lot easier than we thought. We ended up measuring the room using the Sound ID mic that comes with Oria. It took about an hour and a bit. When you're done, you're able to export that measurement file and load it directly into Oria, so now we have full immersive calibration running directly off the internal DSP in the unit. I think anyone who's got one of these will tell you that the setup profiles are actually the heart of this system, and you can browse through, you can switch them from the unit itself or from the app. Obviously, because the hardware is in this rack over here behind me, it can be difficult for me to access or see exactly what's going on when I'm working. So that's why I like to use the desktop app. And sometimes, even with that, I don't have the space or the screen real estate to deal with it. In which case, I'll switch to the iPad for the front end, and that's become actually an important aspect of my workflow. Recently though, Will from Audient called me and he told me to download the new 1.2 version of the desktop app, because it allows you to gank your Stream Deck and any Yukon controllers you might have lying around for front-end duties, if you like the more tactile control of physical knobs and switches, which I do. When I finally booted up Auria for the first time, I honestly felt an indescribable sense of relief. It's been a journey getting here, from navigating the technical requirements of Atmos to learning the endless idiosyncrasies of the format and ultimately finding my own style for mixing. But Auria has been 100% solid from day one. It's like my rock in the studio now, and not just because it's built like a brick shithouse, but because it was created by a team who understand exactly what this dream means to me. My name's Baby Brown. I'm a producer, I'm a mixer, and a composer.